what do you think it's going to take to unwind the damage? What's the trajectory for undoing the havoc that this has unleashed on our society, and especially how it has hijacked science? I think that's the real question, and that seems to be the work of a generation, to reassert some truth given the indoctrination of kids in school. So what lies ahead for advocates and anyone really here who would like to work hard to reestablish some of this much needed sanity on these issues?
Well, I'm going to partially answer also a question that you asked Robin about this claim that, well, why would state legislators be doing this? Certainly it should be the American Academy of Pediatrics, these sort of professional organizations. Okay, so people do say that. And so think for a minute, what do you think the American Academy of Pediatrics has done in studying this? In fact, they haven't done a systematic review of the evidence. At the moment, every entity that's actually done a systematic review of the evidence, this is where you review all this sort of data and scientific literature, and you grade it based upon how valuable it is. Every organization that's done that has concluded that there's just no good quality evidence this actually helps kids. This is why Finland and Sweden have stopped doing this. This is why the UK closed their one pediatric gender clinic. So the massive CAST review a few months ago, it's a 388-page document with 7 systematic reviews of the evidence. In contrast, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Psychological Association, the Endocrine Society, basically all of the professional or major medical organizations that can speak on this have been ideologically captured. That's just the simplest way to describe it. The guidelines by the American Academy of Pediatrics was basically written by a resident. It's not based on anything in particular. And if you think that's impossible, just study the eugenics controversy of a century ago when you go home. Just literally, just go to Wikipedia. 1 century ago in the United States of America, all the major medical organizations, the major philanthropists, and the Supreme Court of the United States agreed that good medicine required that states be able to forcibly sterilize undesirable people.
Yeah.
That's literally what they said. So it's possible, because it's actually happened, that medical organizations can be captured by toxic ideologies. Now, ideally, we wouldn't be dealing with this. The legislature in Arkansas wouldn't be dealing with it because the doctors' organizations would have taken care of it. They have not taken care of it, and so it falls either to the boards of medicine in some states like Florida, or legislators in states to stand in the breach until the medical organizations figure out what the heck they're doing. Now, I think in a just world, actually, a few of them would be ripped down to the studs and sued entirely. And I would really like to see that. I don't think that's probably what's going to happen.
Well, the AAP is being sued now, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But this is how I put myself to sleep at night, is imagining that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid that what's going to happen is more like sending Al Capone to prison for tax evasion.
Yeah.
And so the laws that are passed in half the states, virtually all of them have a provision that increases the statute of limitations on the victims from, say, after the 18th birthday, say 10 to 30 years. Because it can take 5 or 10 years before a child that's had this done to him or her would realize that it's something terrible. Most states just had a 1 or 2 or 3 year statute of limitations. So that's crucial so that they can actually sue. At the moment, there's something like, I think, 11 detransition lawsuits in play at the moment. But imagine one major lawsuit settled in favor of a detransitioner and against a medical organization or a healthcare system or HMO. What's going to happen to malpractice insurance for doctors that do this? It's going to go through the roof, and it will just not be economically viable for them, and so they won't be able to do it. Now, like I said, that is not emotionally satisfying to me, all right? But if you want to stop this from happening to kids in the short run, you just change the economic incentives. And so I think that's actually in play. I expect that to work itself out in the next 3 to 5 years, probably. We have a bunch of other laws we have to pass. We have to define what males and females are, believe it or not, at both the state and the federal level. That's never been done because it's never been contested, but now it is, so we have to define it. We have to make clear in states where it's possible that affirming your child's biological sex shall not constitute child abuse, because Child Protective Services, as Andrea mentioned, is being weaponized in a number of states, already happening, literally. So by not treating your daughter as a daughter, you could have Child Protective Services take your child away. We've got to make sure that that's not able to happen. Those are sort of straightforward legislative and legal proceedings that I think will take care of these things. Here's the harder part. Getting out of school curricula and getting out of kids' minds the idea that they might be born in the wrong body. And the way to sort of solve their struggles is to transform their names and their pronouns and their bodies to conform to a distorted idea in their minds, rather than helping them to conform their minds to the reality of their bodies. That's the work of a generation.
Yeah, that is the work of a generation.